Hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with the 60 books in isolation, and I know I look a fright. I have literally just got in from work, and once I set up my camera, the sun has been sunny all day. It's just disappeared. Well, it is according to my 20 past 6, okay, and it's the 24th of March. This has been recorded, uploaded at some point. So now, first of all, this is a debut, and I actually got this for free. And book event I went to a while ago as part of a goodie bag. So, and perfect for a curl up with a hot cocoa and a cozy blanket and fall in love. It's by Clara Christensen. Okay, it's called Hygge and Kisses. Right, so that's the thing. And here's the blurb. Here we go. The perfect novel for all fans of Hygge, warm, wise, and romantic. Beau, 26, has always been careful, cautious, following a life plan, but that plan is beginning to unravel at an alarming rate. Before she starts to panic, her friend Kirsten persuades her to take a holiday to visit Christian's mother house in Aalborg, North Jutland, a part of Denmark Beau is ashamed to admit she's never heard of. Right. What's the weather going to be like? Beau asks Christian. Terrible. London is positively Mediterranean by comparison, and of course it's November, so it'll be dark 17 hours a day, but no one ever goes to Denmark to get a tan. Need a change of scene and to blow away the cobwebs, and trust me, Skagen will do that. Besides, the summerhouse is cosy whenever the weather, and you never know what else will be around. So who else will be around? So, she's 26, she lives in London. She's not a Londoner, okay? But she's attracted there by the bright lights in the big city, and the fact is that she thought that she'd go to London and all her dreams would come true, and that she's very, very relatable. I will give her some dues. I understand this character quite well. Okay, let me just start off this bit here. Okay? Right. The 26-year-old, so 26 years of her life has so far been blessed with good fortune, a respectable job, a loving family, and an active social life, all of which she knew she ought to feel grateful for. But she had read a feature in a magazine that weekend about the quarter-life crisis, and it resonated with Beau's sense that something was not quite right, as somehow she was not a real grown-up, but rather a little girl who was just faking the whole adulthood thing. I get that. I get that. She's basically just fell into this job, working for kind of like this business in London, and you think it's going to be all fantastic and glam, and it's really, really not. There's bureaucracy behind closed doors. There's the guy she's seeing there who is not, well, they're not really a thing, okay? They're seeing each other, but they're not like dating, and he's very dismissive of her needs. He is very kind of, they work in the same office, so it's kind of like, it's like a secret relationship. And to Beau, it's the love of her life. She loves Ben, but you know from reading this book, he's not that into her, not as much as she is, and it's kind of like a conflict going on, okay, between what these two really, really want, okay, and it just kind of captures, okay, what you imagine life in London will be to what the reality is of life in London. And I've got some stories. Whilst she was at university, Beau had dreamed of living and working in London. She had visioned a kind of cosmopolitan lifestyle, which nights out at the capital's trendy bars would be the regular, and eating at the best restaurants would be a regular occurrence. The reality, however, was that her dining habits in London hardly changed since her student days in Norwich. On the rare occasions that she could afford to eat out, options were dictated by a restaurant cost and proximity to her flat, rather than by its reputation. In Beau's mind, being a proper grown-up meant being able to order from the a la carte menu rather than the prefix, and choosing a bottle of wine that wasn't prefaced by the word house. For the first 5 years of her working life, such luxuries have remained infuriatingly out of reach. And the thing is, when she dates Ben, because Ben is kind of like a high financial bracket, kind of changes. She starts going to Katie's trendy restaurants and living, she thinks, her best life. She absolutely thinks her best life. And it's quite interesting as well, okay, as a character, is that Beau is also a bit of a hypocrite. Now, obviously, she hears rumours in the office, okay, that Ben has actually seen someone else on the sly, and it's kind of like the power imbalance, and her reaction isn't, is this the power imbalance between the new starter, okay, and Ben? It's the, oh my god, who's the other woman here? And I kind of like the fact that Beau is an absolute hypocrite. You'd think in the world now, okay, this is where, okay, a character would be about the power imbalance, but Beau's angry at the wrong people, which is kind of makes her a real, not particularly a great, but makes her real, okay? Right, here we go. In this bit here, okay, I mean, this is so clear, okay, that Ben is not the guy, but here we go. Beau's growing ill feeling was not helped by Ben's tendency to flirt with other women in front of her. When they were out on a date, her heart was sinking if a pretty waitress approached the table, and she knew that Ben would be unable to resist, engaging the girl in mild, flirtatious banter. The boy's smile on his face suggested he considered his behaviour charming, but both found it tedious and irritating. His repartee with the payroll woman in the office kitchen that Monday was a case in point. Bo knew that she had no reason to feel threatened by his flirtatiousness with Becky and Alison, friends of hers, that he was no more likely to date either of them than he was to date Tess Daly, but she suspected that the real purpose of the exchange had been to make her feel jealous, and that was his way of reminding her that he was in control. You see. Now, however, from an alternative point of view is this. Ben is harassing, he's sexually harassing, like, to her, Ben is flirting with the waitress. Now, obviously, a waitress, okay, depending on livelihood, on tips and that kind of stuff, has got to take what a customer dishes out. Ben is sexually harassing someone, but Bo finds it annoying that Ben is flirting, even though the fact is the waitress probably does not appreciate it, if you understand. Bo's anger is always seen to be directed at the wrong people. I don't like it. However, that's relatable in a way, and also very realistic. You always think in a relationship you can have the upper hand, and you can see someone's flaws as, I hate him flirting with the waitress. Well, the waitress doesn't like him, like being sexually harassed in the workplace by your boyfriend, if you see. So that's actually quite good writing by creating a flawed character. And also, it goes absolutely kind of tits up for Bo. She loses her job, made redundant, not that she ever did. And her relationship, rumours okay about Ben circulating around the office, okay? And once again, Bo was so insecure as well. I mean, the fact is that a good section of this book is set in Denmark, but it takes a long while to actually get to Denmark. We're setting the scenes about Bo's mentality. And this bit here, and this, once again, I found Bo so infuriating, this bit here. Bo forced herself to try to appraise Charlotte's looks from a male perspective. Okay, although she was undeniably at the mouse end of the spectrum, Bo had to admit that she wasn't unattractive per se. The sensing that she was being watched, Charlotte glanced sideways and caught Bo staring at her. She gave Bo a very smile, to which Bo responded with a slow half nod of acknowledgement. Charlotte, new starter. Okay, Bo's looking at her, basically seeing, through the male gaze. Oh, it kind of mousy, not pretty as you, Bo. Flawed. Now, imagine Charlotte being a new starter in this office, okay, as someone like Ben who has all the control. Anyone else would think sexual harassment, but Bo thinks suspect. You see what I mean? So this is when, obviously, it goes tits up for Bo. She's lost her job, made redundant. She's kind of figured out a life plan at 26. And the fact is, okay, when it talks about Bo living the life that she never really wanted, she kind of just fell into this job, living the bright lights of London, but it's not what she really, really wanted. Okay, this is what she wanted. Right. Right. A memory came unbidden into Bo's mind of the first and only time she broached the subject of her culinary ambitions with her parents. Her father's face had clouded, and he muttered something about how someone of her abilities could aim higher than that. But strenuously agreed, reminding Bo that her education upbringing meant that the world was her oyster, that she knew something about the subject as her cousin Jeanette had worked in catering. Catering was a family-friendly profession, very antisocial hours. You have to work evenings and weekends. She had trained with a pained look, knowing the argument with Kellogg Falls of a sociable 17-year-old, for whom evenings and weekends was sacrosanct. Not living your best life, but thinking you are, because deep down, you don't want to work in an office. You want to work for you. You want adventures. You want to bake. So in Denmark, at this house, it's kind of like a artist haven, if you will. There's writers there. It's like a retreat kind of place. Okay, there's artists, there's painters, there's sculptors, and all kind of mixing together. And it introduces the concept of Hygge. Now, what's interesting is that it takes so long to actually get to Denmark. And this book could have been set anywhere, but set it in Denmark is the introduction of Hygge, which I've actually heard of. So, okay, but it's actually explained for the audience. Okay, well, the audience, the reader. Okay, right. This is when Emil, who is Dennis, explains because Christian can't make it, and she actually goes alone. She's a little bit nervous, and being a solo traveller, I guess I get that. Okay, right. It's what the Danes do in winter. We spend time in our homes getting cosy, being with friends and family, and avoiding the weather. Right. So it dances of right. So in other words, Simon clarified, who's another um he's a writer, clarified, assuming this supercilious expression which Bo had privately begun to think of as a scrubber face. If you're going to be stuck indoors for weeks and days, you might as well make yourself cozy. Right. Okay, so what should we all be doing while we wait for the weather to improve? How can we get some hygge? Well, we have the perfect Hygge light environment, a cozy house, a fire and a stove, candles. So what you're saying is, Hygge is basically all about the soft furnishings. Simon said archly. That was again a scrabble face. I think you're missing the point, Simon, Florence tutted, shooting him a stern look. These are the people that Bo stuck with. Okay? No, Hygge is a feeling of well-being, of togetherness, of enjoying what you are doing and who you are with. Right. So then they cook together and you're introduced to Hygge. Okay? And it's nice, soft furnishings, kind of being together, cooking together, that concept. I actually like Simon as well, because Simon in this book, he's there because he's a writer, and he's there to obviously work on his novel in peace and introduce you to the concept. There's a meal, there's Florence, she's an artist, and it's kind of nice seeing how these people, because Bo being so kind of stuck in her world, she's meeting the people who've made the next step, made the next leap, if you will. To pursue your dreams and your passion takes a lot of sacrifice, and the fact is that Bo's meeting people who've done so, and it kind of wakes her up to what she really, really wants. And also, I like the fact that Ben is still a presence in this book. Now, normally within a book like this, is that Bo would have kicked Ben to the curb, gone out, lived their best life, realised what she really, really wants. It doesn't work like that in the real world. While she's away in Denmark, okay, with Christian still not there because of problems with issues with her family, she's still communicating with Ben, who she's sort of but not still dating. I like the fact that the ex is still kind of there, okay, realistic. One thing I like about Bo is that she's a very, very realistic character. And also the fact is, even though I said that this book could have been set anywhere, the fact that it's set in Denmark, you get glimpses, okay, of the white sands. The way it's described is beautiful. I mean, I've never been to Denmark, I've been to Norway. And the way he's described it, okay, just this cozy, hooey retreat in the middle of nowhere. You know, actually there's a bakery nearby. And just exploring, even okay, it's so cold you can't go out. Just that experience, and I love that. Made me wish I was there. At this bit here, okay, this is page 222. Right. They watched in awestruck silence as the glow intensified, revealing a shimmering arc of green light which ran from east to west just above the horizon. Bo gasped in amazement. I didn't know you could see the northern lights from here, she whispered. Look us moving, Bo murmured, transfixed by the glowing band of green that had begun to sway undiluted like a curtain in the wind. How beautiful is that? That's a lovely bit of writing. I actually could see that, the way it's described, the Northern Lights itself. So, and the fact is also, when Bo gets back to the UK, she's got some decisions to make about what she really, really wants. And the fact that when she was 17, she was not prepared to make the sacrifices, and now that she is, it's scary, it's terrifying, but she makes that jump. And I won't spoil anything, because this is a debut, it's not fair, only recently come out. But this is a good book, okay? Bo is flawed. Everyone has their flaws. And I just like the fact, okay, that Bo at 26 realises that what she thought she wanted is the exact opposite, okay? So, Hygge and Kisses by Clara Christensen, a debut of all things. That's why I don't spoil the end, that's not fair. Okay, this book only came out in... Actually, this book came out in 2017, but I think this version came out in... recently, because when I looked on Amazon, it was the Danish title, okay, so it is, this is like the translation. So this is a wonderful wintry Christmas book, okay, or bad weather, which I'm actually doing I think now in the warmest day of the year, but that's how it goes with me. So Hygge and Kisses by Clara Christensen, it's marvellous, okay, and I'd love to see more of these characters who I've met. So anyway, sign off here, 6 books in isolation, and bye now.